Jessii Vee. And if you guys did not see my last video, there is a new backdrop behind me. I love it. It's space themed, but it's also cool because this right here is a lake. Then we have like the silhouette of the trees right here. And above we have a starry, planety sky. There's actually so many more planets like going further up, but my camera can only show part of the backdrop, but I love it. I don't know if I've ever had a space background. I love it. So if you guys would like to win it, all you have to do is be subscribed to this channel, so my Jessii Vee channel, turn on your notification bell, then head over to my Instagram, it's called Jessii Vee, give it a follow, and DM me the black heart emoji to be entered to win. Now, if you want a second chance to win, so usually when you enter, you get one entry. If you want a second entry for double the chance to win, head over to my Vee Vlogs channel. There is a video there called This Needs to Be Said. All you have to do is watch it and leave a comment, any comment that you would like, and that's your second entry to win. But without further ado, let's continue into this video. Today we're talking about Pop Rocks, which I know sounds super weird, but you guys know that I do random videos on candies that we all should know about. It's just that a lot of these candies have some dark history, some strange things attached to them. This one actually has a very terrifying urban legend attached to it. But like I always do, we're gonna start off with the history of Pop Rocks. And before we get into it, comment down below if you've eaten Pop Rocks before. If you haven't, where have you been? Now, their origins actually extend all the way back to the 1950s. Pop Rocks have been the source of scandal, urban legends, and parental fear. People say that Pop Rocks may be the most misunderstood candy ever. They became famous and ultimately notorious for creating tiny explosions inside kids' mouths. It was the feeling of fireworks going off inside one's skull. Now, the invention of Pop Rocks was actually by accident, which is kind of interesting. The story begins back in 1956. There was this chemist named William A. Mitchell, and he was experimenting on creating an instant soft drink. What he was working on was a drink powder that, when mixed with water, would transform into a fizzy carbonated drink. So they were working with this drink powder that was supposed to become soda, if that makes sense. But it didn't work, and instead it created these little colorful chunks that would pop when placed in the mouth. Those small fragments are filled with tiny bubbles of carbon dioxide. So like I said, when the candy is placed into your mouth, the heat and moisture causes the candy to dissolve, leading to those tiny little gas bubbles to burst and make that distinctive popping sound, and it creates like that tickling sensation in your mouth. I don't know about you guys, but I never really enjoyed this candy. The popping actually freaked me out a little bit, like I heard it like in my face and I did not like it. Comment down below if you like Pop Rocks. Do people still eat these, or am I just really, really old? Okay, so let's get into this very creepy urban legend. So one of the biggest rumors about this candy is that it is extremely dangerous, like lethally dangerous. There was this myth that occurred back in the 1970s that said some child somewhere in the world scarfed several bags of Pop Rocks in combination with soda and then died after it made his stomach swell and explode. That was the rumor. There was also this very specific rumor back in 1971 that involved this kid that appeared in a Quaker Oats commercial for Life cereal. The commercial starts off with two brothers looking at the bowl of cereal, wondering if it tastes good because it's supposed to be healthy cereal. So they call their youngest brother named Mikey to come and try it out. Now Mikey happily eats the cereal, and then both brothers say, "Mikey likes it," at the very same time. And the phrase actually became very popular for a few years. Anyway, the story goes that the boy who played Mikey in this commercial died by combining Pop Rocks and soda. But that was all just a made-up rumor. The actor who played Mikey, his name is John Gilchrist. He did not die, and actually in 2012 he talked about how this rumor impacted his childhood. He first heard this rumor about him in the late 1970s, and his mother actually received a tearful phone call from a friend offering her condolences that her son had been killed by candy. And this poor mother's like hearing this from her friend, and she looks over at her son who's sitting on the couch, and she's like, "No, he didn't. He's right here." So Pop Rocks received over 50,000 letters from concerned parents about taking the candy off the shelves because they thought it was too dangerous. Now it got so bad, like all these messages from these parents, that the FDA actually set up a hotline to inform parents that the candy popping away like tiny fireworks in their children's mouths was perfectly safe. Now the creator of Pop Rocks even said that the worst thing this candy will ever do to you is just make you burp. It will never harm you. While Pop Rocks mixed with soda may not be lethal, the combination does indeed produce an excessive amount of gas. And while the amount of carbon dioxide expelled may not be enough to actually kill someone, it is enough to blow up a balloon, which I find fascinating, and I kind of want to do this experiment on my vlog channel. Comment down below if you want me to try this, as long as like it doesn't actually like explode in my house. Hopefully not. Anyways, though, I found this other creepypasta that is super creepy. It's called The Man in the Lake. There was a story about a boy who lived in a pretty remote area with his family. Their house was right next to a lake, and their nearest neighbor was probably a 15-minute drive away. Now, this boy was very afraid to go to sleep at night because whenever he would suddenly be woken up by this feeling of water dripping on his face, and when he opened his eyes, he would see this tall, dark figure hovering over his bed, soaking wet and covered in seaweed and mud. He called this thing the Man in the Lake, and it seemed like each night he would walk out of the water and into his house. Now, the house they lived in was almost 100 years old, so he started wondering if maybe something bad happened at his house in the past, and that's why this man's spirit kept coming back. Maybe there was some sort of like unfinished business. Well, he became tired of constantly being startled awake by this creature every single night, so he wanted to try and find a way to be warned that he was coming. So he walked into his kitchen one evening and stumbled across some old packs of Pop Rocks from a couple Halloweens ago. Now, he spread them all over the floor in his house, going down the hallway to his room, and this way, when the soaking wet creature walked into his house, the water would make the Pop Rocks start to fizzle loudly, and hopefully that would be enough to wake him up. I mean, it's kind of weird, but if it works. The plan actually worked perfectly, and around 1 a.m., he heard the muffled fizzing from behind his door. It was getting closer and closer as this thing was stepping down the hallway, and before it was able to open his door, he got there first and held it closed. The doorknob jiggled a few times, and then he heard the man slowly walk away and leave the house, and after doing this for about a week straight, the creature never came back because he was unable to actually get into the room. So yeah, if you ever expect a monster is coming into your house, get your Pop Rocks. Pop Rocks will save you. I just thought this story was so bizarre, but also like creepy at the same time. Anyways, so guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have anything else creepy to say about Pop Rocks, definitely comment down below. But I just want to preface this one more time. This was all just a rumor about Pop Rocks. They will not do this to you. Actually, a lot of people enjoy this candy, and it is kind of super fun to like hear it fizzle in your face. But I didn't really think that, but a lot of people do. Anyways, guys, don't forget, if you would like one of our new items on the website, I've linked it down below. But I hope you guys have an awesome rest of your day, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!